You look pretty. It's gonna take a second. Oh, oh, there's a cat in here. Get out of here, cat. Go, cat. Bye, cat. Nobody likes cats. All right, perfect. Instagram's live. Everyone looks good, sounds good. All right, guys, welcome back to the Outdoor Drive podcast. We have Mike and Caleb joining us here from In the Wild, an ultimate outdoor experience. How we doing, boys?
Good, good, guys. How are you?
Good,
Good.
man.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, absolutely. Absolutely. We it's a pleasure to have you on. We're actually super excited about this. Caleb had come to us about this whole entire thing a little while ago, man, and to kind of be in the forefront and the start of it, I think it's going to be a super cool thing. So why don't we kick this thing right into four-wheel drive? Why don't you guys start off and tell who you are, where you're from, and a little bit about what you guys do?
So I'm Mike from All Things Accuracy. I have a bow shop in Liberty, New York. It's about 8,000 square feet. We carry just about everything you can think of for archery, and that's what I do, man. Every day, all day. If I'm not there, I'm either guiding or helping somebody do archery.
Uh, I'm Caleb Moser, and I'm with Pure Archery Group and Bowtech, Excalibur, and the family of companies. And I run all of New England for the territory sales, work with all the dealers, independent shows, all that kind of stuff out there. So
And we've heard the voice of Caleb before here on the Outdoor Drive. We love Caleb. Stop being quiet over there. You all right, Caleb?
we're doing good, man. We're ready. We're ready to rock this. This is going to be a fun event for everyone. So it's exciting.
Mike, going back to you, man. Let's learn a little bit about you. And who you are, man. And how did you start into the archery world and have an archery shop? Like, where was that ticket that kind of start?
So, how it all started, right? My dad had a shooting preserve for pheasants. He was a bird dog trainer, and I was always obsessed with bows since could walk, right? And then as I got older, I helped at a Matthews shop and then become a shop shooter. You know, you just keep spending time there, man. You spend more and more time. And then I helped another local shop, and I always wanted to run my own shop because I was helping everybody else, right? That's the dream, right? Everybody wants to jump in both feet, want to do it themselves. And then I had met my wife, and she's like, "You should really do this." And I was like, "I can't. There's a local shop here. With the shop, there's got to be so many miles from everything." And we had talked about that the day before Thanksgiving. And the gentleman who owned Travis Archery the day after called me and goes, "I'm retiring." I said, "Great," because he works at the jail. He's like, "No, the bow shop." He's like, "Do you want to buy it?" And that's how it started, man.
That's crazy. You're the second person that we've had on the podcast that owns an archery shop that started because somebody else was retiring.
Yep.
Like, that's
And
crazy.
his dad still comes in the shop. That was one of the things. He was like, "Hey, you got to take my dad." His dad loves it. He comes in, helps all the kids, comes in all the time. He comes in, buys pizza for people. He just wants to be there and be around the camaraderie. You have a good shop, you get a good bunch of guys there, everybody hangs out. Then you get to get all the kids that come in and shoot. So, and with my shop, any kid in Sullivan County where I am, they come and shoot for free.
Wow.
So
So
you
it's
got to
it.
keep the sport going.
I think it's kind of crazy because archery shops are one of those things like you go in and like there's like a click, but it's super cool because like when you see like you go to some outdoor events or shows or whatever, and there'll be an archery shop and there'll be 15 dudes with one archery shirt on because they
Yep.
live, breathe, and dream for that archery shop.
Yeah, I have a bunch of guys that do the same. They're really awesome. A lot of things get done because of them. I will say that.
How many guys do you have that work in the shop with you?
Full time is just me and Adam. He's my head tech. He's awesome. He builds all the strings in house. We build everything you can think of there. We uh, we just wanted to give people more options, more color options. We use same 452 extra for everything. It's just me and him that do everything, and then I have one part-time employee. She comes in and fletches and does everything.
Wow. Do you get a lot of time woods too, or no? You're locked in the shop.
So the first year I was locked in the shop, only hunted for 4 days, right? We went from an 800 square foot store to an 8,000 square foot store in under 6 months because we just boomed and went crazy. So that was kind of took up a lot of time. But last year I was fortunate to get out. Probably I had a month's worth of time in the woods last year, so it was good.
That's super awesome because that's one of the things and fears with anybody who, like you said, that you guided and stuff, and you
Yeah.
kind of a lot of your time and devotion goes to it, right? Like
Yeah.
putting on game or whatever the case may be, or tuning bows and making things happen there. So you put and delegate a lot of your time to the people. So it's tough, and it kind of pushes you away from those things. So for you to give back to the community is always awesome.
Yeah, I was very fortunate. A good friend of mine gave me a place to hunt last year. I got it done the first day on a buck. And then rifle season, he put me in another spot. I got it done. He's like, man, you've helped me so much with my stuff. He goes, let me just help you out. And I was like, I've never had anybody help me. And it was the first time ever. It was kind of nice, I'll tell you that much.
That's got to be super cool. Then you can get back to doing what you were doing.
Yeah. He's like, 7:01, man, he'll be there. I'm like, yeah. That's what everybody says. Like, the fish was here yesterday. No, it was standing there at 7:01.
Made it happen, huh?
Yeah.
That's
Love
super.
when that works out.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, nothing better than going and the plan coming together, because a plan doesn't always come together.
Yeah. They just get a different plan in their head that day, just that day, right? And as soon as you're not there, they're back there again. That always works out that way.
What did you guide for?
So I was been guiding for whitetails. I guide for turkeys out in Pennsylvania with an outfitter. When I was younger, I used to be a guide for my father with the bird dogs and everything like that.
That's super cool. So you've been well versed in it for a long time.
Yeah, yep. I was gutting deer and taking care of people and putting blood on their face when I was like 10 and 11 years old for 40-year-old men. That was always great.
I think that's a common thing in this room right now, because all of us that have been around it for so long and just live for it. But now you get to live the dream by having the archery shop. What made you go to an 8,000 square foot archery shop?
So we were in 800 square feet, like I said, and we didn't have a range, right? Everybody kept asking for a range, asking for a range, asking for a range. And in the same building, there used to be an old Sears. So we went over, they had already saw how we were and everything like that. And they said, hey, we'll give you this at a better rate than when I first moved into the place. And they made me a deal I couldn't refuse. And we were just growing so rapidly that I needed it. So in between running the shop and my wife having our second kid, I built the other store. I'd work all day, and then I'd work there half the night and go home, sleep 2 or 3 hours, and get back after it.
What's the biggest and the most stressful thing that you have to endure with owning an archery shop?
Keeping everybody happy.
Really?
You're all bow hunters. You're particular about what you want, right? And everybody's different in their own way. So keeping everybody happy and everybody shooting the same way, you know what I mean? I could shoot a bullet hole through paper, then you hand it to the customer and they're having a hard time and they think there's something wrong. Then we work on yourself usually. And we go from there, and everybody usually 99% are happy, but there's always one person, no matter what you can do, that it just doesn't work out.
I think that's, across the board, and I bet you Steve can agree with you, and maybe Caleb too, is like when it comes to archery shops, sometimes you walk in there and they're very opinionated in their one way. And sometimes they can't get out of their own way to try and look past like other options. Like, guys like us that continually try to upkeep on and educate ourselves with different things and moving the technology forward, like FOC and heavy weights and lightweights and this and that and this broadhead and that broadhead. And then you bring it into a shop and they're just like their old 770 or 2775 is and muzzies, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or thunderheads, and they're just set in that way,
and they only shoot one arrow brand. They won't change. They don't want to hear, nope, just put 125 grain on the end. I'm like, guys, we have all these inserts now. We don't have to do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely goes that way. And the new wave of things has definitely changed things. The first Matthews shop that I worked at, man, it was regular switchback and switchback XT and then adrenaline. You know what I mean? So the bows aren't doing what they are today. You know what I mean?
The glory days, buddy.
Yeah. So you were shooting a 500 plus grain arrow, all this stuff.
Dude, I didn't even know how much my arrow weighed back then because I didn't care.
Yeah.
I was like, give me them. Let's go. How much does it weigh? No idea. Doesn't matter. It shoots good.
Old gold tip, big game 100.
What'd you say, Caleb?
Kills deer.
Hell yeah. Always got to pass through.
Yeah,
always got to pass through.
In the days of
past
overdraw,
45, but we're good.
Yeah.
of overdraws to get a shorter
And-
arrow so that your arrow went faster, but it was like 900 grains because it was a broomstick. Like,
then you'd pick it up and you'd go, yep, she's still straight.
We just have to be thankful that the internet wasn't around then, because people would have them like come off and shoot them through their arm and all kinds of stuff. They'd be viral for sure. Overdraws.
I remember,
Overdraws and high country arrows.
Oh boy,
Remember that?
I cut bows too.
Yeah.
Oy. But good.
the
Yeah.
times change so fast.
Very.
And that's what I was saying, and going back on that is like some places they cannot get out of their own way to learn the new things. They're still 10 years behind, in my opinion, on some of the technology that's come across. And not everybody should be heavy arrow, right? That's not for everybody, but some people, you have to see the other side. And I think that's one of my problems with bow shops, whether it's big box stores, small little archery shops, everybody's set in their ways. I mean, God rest his soul, but there was one bow shop particular here in Connecticut, and everything was a whisker biscuit. Till to this day, he wanted a whisker. And hey, I get it and understand it because it's simplistic. You know what I'm saying? And most of the people need that simplicity. But I mean, it's just sometimes you just got to get up with the times, and it's tough. And I would imagine in an archery shop to be able to do so.
Yeah, it's you're constantly looking and talking to your reps. Like I talk to Caleb 3-4 times a week. Did anything change? You got anything new for me? What's going on? If you're not talking to your reps and talking to and paying attention what's going on, you're a month behind before you know it.
Right.
And everybody, like you guys said with the internet today, they know everything before they come to the darn store.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they're telling you and you're like, yeah, I know. And you're like, oh, there's the email. I just didn't see it. It happens all the time.
And the companies are constantly innovating every single year. So, I mean, to know everything about everything, it's impossible. Nobody can do that in anything, right? So, but to like Mike's point, where you have to, apply to every specific archer and their needs, whether they're a youth who needs a grow with you bow or a female who needs to get as much energy at 40 pounds out of hers with a specific arrow and broadhead setup, or you're shooting target archery. So, if you're not open to these things or even learning or experimenting or finding out how to get into them, or like we just even launched a new crossbow just days ago. It's constantly evolving, and if you're not, like you said, communicating and figuring it out and playing with these stuff, and then you can't give it to your customers, you can't give it to these bow hunters and apply to these guys, because I mean every bow hunter is very specific, I think, like Mike says, and it's this goes in this pocket for a reason, because we know we're trying to maximize that success, whether it's that perfect score or that next axe or that next harvest or whatever it is. So I mean I think that's the beauty of the archery store. But like Mike says, you can't make everybody happy. You're going to try to apply to every archer and every product you can, and there's a lot out there and all that, but somebody will still be specific and have a 30-year-old bow with a 30-inch draw length, and he's 5 foot tall and shoots gophers in the head at 100 yards, and there's nothing better in the world. So you got to play that game too. So
Yeah.
So.
And then unfortunately, there's the whole, not unfortunately, but there's the whole other side of target archery, right? We got a bunch of guys that shoot ASA, IBO out of my shop, all that stuff, and talk about a can of worms, man. You get into target archers, that's a whole different breed, right? I'm one of them, right? So that changes a lot of things. So even you got just the bow hunting side of things always changing, and then you got the target side that's always changing. So it's a lot going on every day.
And at what point did you kind of sit back in your shop when you got your 8,000 square feet and been like, this is definitely what I wanted to be doing for the rest of my life?
Dude, the biggest thing I can say is, like, I don't feel like I go to work every day. And my wife's happy because I don't spend any more money because I get everything through the shop, right? It's just a bigger bill, right? Because still got paid for it. It just gets added on. It just don't see it as much, right?
Your bill.
So, your rent is 3 times more than any bows you'll ever buy for a lifetime if you didn't own a bow shop.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of people that help us, including Caleb. Everybody gives us, they try to do the right things. We work really hard for them, but it's definitely been a ride for the past 3 years, and it's been an amazing ride. We've met a lot of amazing people. We've done a lot of amazing things. And one of the reasons why this festival is going to happen is because there was four of us that went to a festival the first time. They were like, we got to bring more people. The next one we went to, Caleb was there last year. We brought like 50 people with us. We had camp set up. We made a big box around there. We brought grills. We cooked for everybody. We wanted that camaraderie of basically hunting camp, shooting 3D.
Mm. So why don't, without further ado, man, let's break into it. And what you guys are trying to do and build, and what this thing is all about, because we are 100% behind everything that you guys got going on. So we want to bring it to the world right here on the Outdoor Drive.
Yeah, we've had some great sponsors, including Bowtech. They're one of the title sponsors. Come on, when you come to our place, you come in, you're going to ride the lift up. You're going to shoot 4 different courses. The one course you don't get to ride the lift for, it's going to be the extreme course. So all the guys that want to go right before they go out elk hunting, they can come do it. Going to hike around the mountain. There's going to be targets at various differences, everything like that. Anybody who's been out west or did a DIY or had to try, drag themselves through the woods, it's definitely going to be that for you.
Wow. So it's more than just regular, just target archery or 3Ds. Like,
Yeah.
what are some of the vendors, or kind of take us through the festival and what they're gonna see as soon as they walk into the gates, and what is
So
offered
as
there?
you come in on the left side, there's going to be camping for everybody who wants to camp. We'll have tent camping and camper camping. When you come into the facility, you're going to drive in. You'll see the sign up area. You'll come down. Vendor Village will start. Right. We'll try and do just like TAC does. Man, we got like Bowtech. You're going to have Victory. You're going to have Kenetrek boots. You're going to have Rambo bikes. You're going to have some local vendors, even at Realtor. They're going to have a kids zone where there's a kids bags and everything for them to shoot they never shot before. They're going to have a trout tank for the kids to come and catch fish right out of the trout tank. And then there's going to be local fly fishing vendors that are going to be there. Just about everything that you can think of will be there, right? We're trying to get everybody encompassed in one. So it's not just, hey, I come shoot and we go on. You can bring your wife, right? She can walk around the vendor village. The local casino that's right there, we're doing special room rates that are there. And then a half a mile past that on the same road, there's a water park. So you guys got little kids, you get a discounted rate, you get to stay there. You leave the wife and the kids there. They play at the water park all day. It's literally 6-minute drive from door to door from where we're having the event.
We when Mike kind of approached me and they came to us about this event, we really liked the idea, and it kind of evolved from just being a 3D shoot that everybody could do, from families to hardcore archers to everybody out there, and have courses that apply to kids, families, not only people with bows, people with crossbows. I don't know if Mike mentioned that, but
No, I
a
did
lot
not.
of these challenge shoots, you can't shoot crossbows in. So we're trying to bring that crowd in as well. So us doing Excalibur, that was a big allure for us. And then they're trying to apply to these more the most hardcore archers, which is definitely who we're trying to apply to it with our products, building the best of the best products out there for hunters, target archery, crossbows, everything out there. So having that course was really nice, and then having a vendor village that had national vendors as well as a lot of local vendors, with a lot of stuff for the families, like bounce houses and face paint and all this, for a very low cost to get in. I mean, what better way for families, people to come in, experience archery? There's going to be loads of, prizes and giveaways. I know we're doing a donation ourselves. If you come through and you try a bow or crossbow, you're going to be entered to win one, and that kind of stuff. So, it's just going to be a fun day that families can enjoy, as well as hardcore archers, with, a blast with all these vendors, with a hardcore archery focus, but as well as everything in the outdoors. I think, a little taste of everything from fishing and hunting and boating, ATVs and everything. It's just kind of a outdoor way of life. So we liked it. We picked up the title sponsorship. We're going to back it fully here and work with them. And, the word's spreading pretty fast about everywhere through New England. So there's been several thousand people who've already viewed it and are checking it out and getting on board. So we're excited for it. So, Mike, I don't know if there's anything. Like you said, there's accommodations, which are great for everything right there and everything else. So
the one thing we didn't mention, Caleb, is right. Everybody goes to those shoots. You want to have a novelty shoot. We will have 5 novelty shots. There will be prizes. I'm not going to disclose what they are yet. We're just finally nailing them down. You're going to win tickets for them, all that sort of thing. I wish I could say I'm giving away a truck. I'm not giving away a truck. Sorry, guys. But we're going to give something away really cool, you know. And then also that night, so the big joke behind me and my wife meeting, right? I used to teach line dance and DJ. So that Saturday night, if you want to go drink a couple beers at the bar that's there, we're going to teach line dance also.
Are you going to be the DJ, Mike? Is it DJ?
One of my best friends is. I'll probably get behind there. He'll probably make me. So I used to do all that stuff too, man. You got to be the jack of all, master of none, right?
That's right. That's right. It sounds like it's going to be one of those events that, like, I mean, it's just going to be a good old, more or less camp, right? I mean,
Yeah,
everyone's
that's the
just gonna,
biggest thing.
Think
about it. When you guys go hunting, you guys want to get everybody together and have hunting camp always, right? And it's
Mhm.
only one time a year. Why wouldn't you want to do it and get ready with your buddies and do it?
What are you laughing about, Steve?
I camp a little bit more than once a year, but yeah, dude,
Yeah, all year long, brother.
that's what I'm looking at. It's just another excuse to camp. Like anytime you get an opportunity to like back the truck up and start the fire and hang out, I'm all about it.
Well,
I think
in life's so busy, right? And life's so expensive nowadays. It's kind of how I looked at things. When I took this to the company, you can't get a burger for freaking $20 now. It's ridiculous. So to go there for $10 with your family and have them do something fun and new that they haven't done before, whether it's shoot a bow or throw a fish, cast a rod, or just experience some good people living a cool way of life with some outdoor stuff. I don't know how, if you're not free and around the area, why you wouldn't want to stop by and check this out and let your kids have a blast for a couple hours, or come shoot the courses. These courses are going to be next level. You're not going to want to miss them. I think we're going to be so busy, I'm not going to be able to shoot the courses, but I'm going to definitely shoot a few nice ones, get some nice photos and stuff like that, because I'm excited. We're doing a lot here, so it's going to be a great event, and like you said, hunting camp. Who doesn't want to be in hunting camp and be around that and experience kind of everything that we do all year long, all season long, all kind of aspects of our life. So it'll learn me, and I think it could be a really good festival and awesome for a lot of things and a lot of people. So
one of the things that kind of caught my eyes was rentals. Like, you never really see that in a place like that. Like, what does that entail, and what does that look like?
So what we're going to do is I'm going to have some Genesis bows for people to shoot the kids course and stuff like that. And then I'll also have a couple, later year model bows that I'll have there that they can shoot the practice range with and stuff like that and be able to shoot. And if I see you're proficient, we'll let you go out, onto a course. But, it's mainly just to get people shooting and trying and doing. And, because once you start shooting your bow, it's kind of a Zen thing. It changes who you are. You want to shoot all the time, everything like that. It changes just you as a person. I truly do believe that. I could be having a bad day and just pick up my bow and it turns around big time.
I just thought that was a huge point where guys could come that maybe are new to the sport or wanting to learn more about the sport or whatever the case may be, and that opportunity can arise.
Yeah.
Because you don't see that. Like, it's a pretty overwhelming thing to go to an archery shoot with a bunch of dudes that got quivers on their hips and release. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, it's a pretty daunting thing when you go there. Especially I remember at a young age going to one and you're just like, I don't know. These guys are like really good. Like,
oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody's first 3-day experience, right? Everybody's seeing around. Everybody's got a lens. This guy's got 4-foot bars, all this stuff. And you're like, man, I don't know if I should be here. I got my hunting rig, And then you go all shoot and you realize you're doing the same thing and everybody's kind of doing just happy to see you shoot well, and that's one of the biggest things.
Well, and I think there's so many other things too. It's like, we go to these shows and the shoots, and it's about archery and we're shooting that and we're and everything in a way of life. But it's all of a sudden you're talking to a guy. What boots do you wear for this? And I'm going for elk. And what would you do for this setup? And I don't know how to butcher a deer. Thank you for showing me that here at this. And I wasn't sure of that law. So talking to this econ officer was really nice. And wow, that's what a Fisher cat looks like here. Like to see all that and experience all that. A lot of people don't get exposure to any of that. So it's just nice, and it's nice to be open up to that and to help people through that. Not only like Mike says, I think it changes you. I definitely think it makes you for the better shooting a bow, as well as just getting into the outdoors, whether it's hiking, fishing, camping, any of that. But definitely with archery, it's you have to, you know, it's a more precise thing in how you do it and all that. But it's going to be a great time. The rentals are going to be a great aspect. We're going to provide some bows too to Mike, so we can have a bunch of kids' bows on hand, so kids can shoot, and some models as well of all of our models of everything we make, so people can try crossbows, bows, be shooting them there, demoing them at the ranges, releases, everything from high to low, anything you can think about in archery. So that's kind of what we're going to run with. So
What's some of the live demos that you're looking to have at the event so that people can kind of look forward to them?
So like I will have my whole store there. I'm taking I have a 34-foot gooseneck that we built into a mobile bow shop. We're bringing everything there that you can think of. All the new bow techs will be there. Every bow that I carry in my shop will be there. All the crossbows. Hopefully Caleb gets me my new crossbow. It'll be there by then. We'll see. But but everything that I have in my store will be there.
So are you doing like demonstrations as far as like how to tune a bow or something like that, or what kind of demonstrations or demos?
So I will have my head tech will be there. If you're having trouble with your rig or you want to learn something like that, he will be there more than willing to help. I will also be there helping when I'm not pulled away to do something like that. I have a gentleman that is a 2-star chef that he's going to be there. He wants to do something for cooking to show everybody. He's going to do that on Sunday. And that's pretty much it.
Cool. So yeah, no, it just seems like a really good event of a bunch of different people just kind of collaborating and doing something awesome. I think the shoot thing's kind of cool. So how many targets are in each course?
25 on each course.
Okay. And you can shoot more than one in a day?
Of course. You can knock your heart out. Go do as many as you want.
Ride the lift up, shoot right down, go.
Yep. The cool thing is it's a brand new quad lift, man. You walk over, you sit down, drags you right up top.
Really?
So yeah.
And other people just if you don't shoot, you can still just ride it up, and I think hike down is the plan. So they just enjoy a nice scenic walk and a ride up a view off the mountain. So there's a lot to do for just your entry in there and chance to win some prizes. So I mean, it's
what's some of the vendors that people can look forward to seeing there?
Well, obviously Caleb's going to be there.
Well, nobody really wants to see him.
I think we're going to have most of the archery vendors from the sounds of it, all your major companies that you know of. And then, we're trying to cover pretty much all the major categories. We have people, for trucks, ATVs, fishing, hunting, camping, tramping, butchering, trapping, kind of every kind of way of life that we do there. Just a little taste of everything, as well as, our goal is local vendors as well, like honey, cider, meat products, that kind of stuff as well. So there's a little taste of everything from that organic kind of standpoint. So
even the local Harley dealers coming.
Yeah. And then we'll have, national guys as well as, boot companies, like you said, bow companies, camouflage companies. We're working with a bunch of different manufacturers. So they'll all be listed on, I think he has them on the website and stuff like that.
The sponsor list is going to drop this week coming up. We're just trying to finalize everybody and get everybody in the right category so nobody gets upset.
Back to the courses. What are we looking at for like difficulty levels here? Do you have like one like more advanced like distance wise and then more easy or moderate, intermediate, or what's your plan there?
So the kids course obviously is going to be close to the practice range, right? And then we're going to have like an ASA style course. You're going to have from 5 to 50, right? That's going to be your standard regular, go to your regular 3D shoot and shoot. The crossbow course and is going to be the next advanced course, which is going to be from 20 to 80, right? And then you get on the extreme course, right? You're going to have everything from 20 to 140. So you can stretch it.
Wow. 140. Jeez.
Come on.
It will be a gopher at 140. Gopher at 140.
Yep.
Jackalope.
Pin high, let it fly.
With rocks and a lake behind it, so you lose a lot of air.
Foam your home, man. Foam is home.
You're going to what arrow vendors are going to be there?
There'll be plenty of arrows. He'll be having arrows and saws, and he'll be zipping them out.
We got 2
right
saws
back out.
already set. We're ready to go.
That's why I'm bringing those XX75s, man. They don't blow up. You just
That
kind of send them
old
back
school.
straight.
Tim, put them back straight. Look down them real quick. You're good.
And they float.
Yep.
I ain't using these new boys.
I see this more as like a scheme. Like, here, guys, shoot 140. Come to my trailer, get an.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Some of
Come
these
on, you guys don't
though,
shoot
they
that
get on
far?
these
Let's
hunts
go.
And they're like 100 yards, and they're like, let it fly. Okay, sniper.
No, we're pinned out, so
Yeah.
we can definitely do it with a floater.
Yeah.
Floater. Yeah.
Come on, Caleb. We got to get you up to 200.
I like them. I like them inside of 40, but I like them even inside of 20 better. You know,
I agree with that. Closer to better.
the better. Yeah, especially as they're not alarmed. So.
Yeah.
Keeps it tighter.
Yeah.
I like how you're incorporating like all outdoors with the fishing and the camping and all that other stuff, where it's not like just archery or just deer.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little bit of everything outdoors.
Yeah, me and Caleb were talking about it, and it kind of evolved into that, and then more people had asked about questions and everything, and we had traveled to multiple shoots, and we were like, what else would we want, right? And I was like, the river runs right there. We could always do some fishing, right? And then we need stuff for the kids. Everybody that bow hunts, it's not just just bow hunt that I've ever seen. There's always another hobby that's with it. There's always something that comes with it. So why not have that stuff there also there for them, so it works out good.
I think that it's important for the reason being is that just getting new people into the sport because of it, right? Because they might come for X, Y, and Z, but then they can also get into archery. That's where like renting the archery gear or having archery gear to demo or whatever the case may be, which you can turn those guys that might be fly fishermen into archery hunters or might dive more deep to learn something more. I mean, it's always those learning experiences that keep those people going. I mean, and you're going to push your limits of getting on a course and doing something different that you've never done before for somebody. You know what I'm saying? We might not have shot 140, but being able to go and do it and have fun and learn and whatever.
Yeah.
It's super.
And like you said about the demos and everything, like we'll definitely be doing demos and seminars, how to sight tapes, stuff, how to tune your bows. We'll be tuning bows for free, like Mike said here over at our booth and stuff like that, and working with people, just to get everybody into it that we possibly can. So, I mean, that's really the goal, like you say. And then, like you said, what doesn't go with it? Like when you go turkey hunting, sometimes they're not calling, so you go fishing at noon and you throw a couple lines while you're calling, and sometimes magic happens, so, and we all try to get encompassed in outdoors. I think, the more outdoors you get, the more things outdoors you want to do. If you could fit it into your schedule and your hobby and your time frame or whatever your passion is. Like one guy, he might be whitetail and he might be bow. Another guy may be bird hunting, another guy may be fishing, like you say, and he comes for that, but he gets to shoot a bow and you get to experience that. Or whatever, and see what your cup of tea is, whether it's turkeys or whatever, So
like one of the biggest things too, like when people come in and ask me in the store, like, oh, you guys really shoot that far? Well, there's going to be guys that shoot for me, you guys, everybody. You'll be on the practice range after you shoot the course. They're going to see people shooting that far, right? The first time somebody sees someone shoot that far with a bow, they don't believe it, right? And then you shoot a group for them, and they're like, wait a minute, you didn't just do that with one arrow? No. You do that repeatedly over and over again. Listen, they're all not always in the X, but you usually shoot pretty well. So that's a huge thing that people can see. You might have somebody come for the first time, like he talked about, that's regular, just a whitetail hunter, never shot 40 yards. He gets around a bunch of guys like us, and then he changes his rig a little bit, and now he's out shooting 100 yards. So that's huge. We want to get people to see there's more to their, like these new bows are just astronomical compared to what we were just talking about in the beginning, right? Of what we used to have to what we have now.
Oh, dude, 40 yards was a poke back then.
Yeah.
Like, woo, I can't even see that far.
you had to,
still can't see that far, but that's because your eyes.
I topped out at a 35-yard pin.
that was because the arch was 16 feet.
7 pins to 45 yards. 5-yard increments.
Like
5-yard increments like this.
Metal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Days. You know the crazy thing is, it wasn't all that long ago.
No.
That's the craziest part about the whole thing. It wasn't that long ago.
Have you guys
What was
picked
that?
up an older
Switchback
bow
was
and
what,
shot it?
20 years ago?
Yeah.
Right? 2004, 2005?
Yep.
My dad
Have you guys shot an older rig now and then shoot your new stuff?
I still
have my Switchback.
So do I.
Yeah, I'll never get rid of that. That thing's no, we have too many memories together for me to get rid of that. But yeah, you go to draw it now because I mean that thing was the shit back then, and you draw it now and you're like, oh no, no.
Yeah, I went from that to Bowtech 82nd Airborne.
I went from a Martin Warthog. I still have it to this day. Still shoot that. A Hoyt Raptor. Still have one of those. Like they collect dust in the basement. But dude, I love those things. But never get rid of them. And it's kind of funny is the Martin Warthog was given to me by a friend of mine. It was his grandfather's bow. He kind of wasn't really an archery hunter. His grandfather passed away. It was my first bow. Not all that long ago, I gave it back to him, and he hunted with it and shot probably a dozen deer with it.
That's awesome.
And it maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
I think what's the not the kid course? What's the other one? Your regular ASA course? What is it? 50-yard max.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to dial in the Switchback. I'm going to get a dozen XX75s, and I'm going to bring it up there. I'm going to shoot that course at the Switchback.
Listen, there's a couple of guys that shoot for me that still have theirs. Like, they built new strings for it, everything. They were shooting in the parking lot last year. They were all excited. And they're like, we're going to shoot a 3D with this. I'm like, all right. So just let me know. They'll be about it, too.
Let's do it. Then we'll bust out the Bowtech and go shoot that extreme course.
Yep.
We'll do the vintage. We'll just do it like a vintage course day. Like, just up the old
vintage. If we're doing that, though, you got to show up in vintage camo.
All
right. Vintage camo, vintage bows, and then we'll have some real diehards show up.
Like, how vintage? Are you showing up in a loincloth? Like... Scaring me now. Well, he might show back up.
What's vintage? I mean, my Switchback is Realtree hardwoods.
Yeah.
There it is. So
hold on. I got you. Hold on. You guys keep talking. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
This is bow hunting from a different era, brother.
You see Fred Bear? He matches Fred Bear behind him.
Yeah.
This is exactly what it's all about. This is the camp aspect. This is the camaraderie. This is what that whole event.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, with the
now your game's on serious when you put this baby on. It's gun season. Can't be breaking all these. These are the Molly Whopper hats. You want the Molly Whopper? We'll bring them out.
Bring it up the Molly Whopper.
All right, I'll raise you. Muzzy, bad to the bone, baby.
Dude, my hunting mentor still to this day wears that Muzzy hat. He'll show up to a family function wearing that Muzzy hat to this. He wears it every day, all day, to work, to anything. He wears it everywhere to this day.
I feel like Stan Potts every time I put this thing on.
Give me a minute. Just gotta give me a minute.
So bad. Let's not go into the hat collection. It's
old Crazy Eyes himself.
I got it. Crazy Eyes himself.
You pull down that face mask and you just see a mustache sticking out.
Oh, yeah. And he's saying, hot shot release forever. Oh, Jesus. See, you got Caleb coming out now. You got him out of the closet.
Busting out his hat collection.
That's like camp, though. That's what it's all about.
There'll probably be a East Coast Molly Whopper apparel booth there.
Better be.
Buy some hats like this of vintage quality that are of new high end materials, like Mike was saying. So
no, that's what
U.S. made, no tariffs.
There you go.
Is Bowtech no tariffs?
U.S. made, brother. U.S. components, all in house, brother. Or, from our local guys. So
that's a good thing.
That's what makes it all work out. Well, no, I think that's what the whole event's going to be right here. This is it. Just on the tailgate, whatever, making it happen, having fun, smiling, and we're definitely coming vintage. That's no question to it. I'm going to break it.
Oh, boy. I got my 82nd Airborne's hanging in my shed at my house, and I still have my Switchback. I can do either or. So
Probably
I mean,
have
we
to be
both got
a
new strings
prize
on
for
'em.
best vintage archer or best vintage hunter category. I like it. I like
Oh
it.
boy, you better watch out. My buddy Eric, he's all about like his new bow that we just painted. Right, it's Macho Man Randy Savage, bro.
Oh
Just
boy.
like a dude, it's crazy.
Oh, the cream will rise to the top.
Yep. So he'll be there. He's gonna have. He always wears 80s clothes. He's
Oh
always doing crazy
yeah.
stuff. So you better see who he was for
Yeah.
sure. So
Oh, who said this? Hoyt Factor 30, the best bow ever.
Lost me at Hoyt.
Yeah, he lost me at Hoyt too. I think I only shot Hoyt for a couple of years. Wasn't really a fan, but that's just me. I don't know. Leave it there. Sorry. I apologize for that.
Caleb, got anything to say?
Oh, I don't know. We're just looking forward to having you come. I don't know. I think, Mike, you have it all right there, right? That you can go right onto the website and check it out. There's flyers hanging out all over. You can get camping on there, I think, and the reduced rates at the water park. And
We'll put a link to.
Is it live now, Mike? Like, can like,
the Eventbrite
you
link is
can
live.
you buy
go right
tickets
to
now? Can you reserve campsites now? Everything's available.
Everything is there. It's right on Eventbrite. You just go to Eventbrite and type in Into the Wild. It's there. It pops right up. It's actually one of the first ones when you go on there because so many people have looked at it.
Now, how about shooting courses? Is that something you like pre-reg like ahead of time, like some of the other ones, or is it day of, or how's that work?
Day of, just go where you want. You know what I mean? We're kind of going to have people there when you start the first stage or when you're, give time on the lift so people don't get jammed up. You know what I mean? So you'll be able, like, the extreme course opens first, right? Because that doesn't need a lift. The lift goes from 9 to 4 every day. So if you want to start right at the stream course, you can go walk that one and then come back and get on the lift and go from there. The practice course is going to be open right there. The mountain is doing breakfast sandwiches, coffee, real bathrooms. You can use the bathroom. That's a big thing, right? You go to those events, right? We're all used to the Porta John going 100, doing 100 degrees, and you have to deal with it, right? But we figured we wanted to have everything there. At least they had something for them when they start in the morning.
And as far as camping and stuff, I know it's kind of crazy. And you're just saying bathrooms, showers, or anything. Is that
no? There's no showers. You can go jump in the river.
Yeah, no. Hey, listen, dude, we're pretty rugged campers. I'm just saying to throw it out there so that everybody knows what they're getting themselves into. That's all.
Yep. No showers. Bathrooms, but no showers.
Cool, dude. If you got kids, you just got to get a room at the water park, and they give you 2 water park passes. So you can come to the event, you can go swim at the water park, come back for the music, hang out, have a beer. It's a good time. So
watch DJ Mike get on it and teach everyone how to line dance.
Yeah,
dude, I got the shaboozey down. You wait.
He'll be mollywopping on the dance floor.
I'm nasty, bro.
Got it.
I'm nasty. You wait.
Mike, before we cut this thing loose, why don't you tell everybody what drives you outdoors, man? We want to know. We know what drives him outdoors, but we want to know what drives you outdoors, Mike.
I was very fortunate at a young age, like I talked about with my dad, and I think it's the camaraderie of everybody getting together and sharing that with everybody, right? It's not always about killing something. It's about the experience that you get with being out in the woods and seeing it wake up and everything come together. Like you talked about, sometimes the plan comes together, sometimes it doesn't, but it's still all the same. It's just the camaraderie of hunting camp is what is always drove me every year to want to do that, right? So that's one of the biggest things to me that sticks out to me since I was a kid that I remember like it was yesterday, is all the guys getting together. And you may hear about a story from, 1976 that they told, right? And it gets different every year, right? Depending on how much beer they drink or alcohol or whatever it is. But it's everybody getting together, from the kids to the wives to everybody, the whole thing that brings everybody together.
I mean, who can throw a better vent than somebody what drives them outdoors is deer camp. So yeah. I think that's a really good thing. Mike, why don't you tell them one more time the website where they can find and get their tickets?
You can go to eventbrite.com and just type in Into the Wild and everything pops right up.
Cool, man. You want to drop in a shameless plug of your shop too if they want to check you out there?
Yeah, you can go to allthingsaccuracy.com and check us out there, or on Facebook, Instagram. You might see some crazy things from my lovely shooters from there, and Yeah, we're always having a good time, man.
Cool. Caleb, we appreciate you jumping on with us too, man. Thank you very much. Do you have anything you want to leave anybody with?
Oh, anytime, you're most welcome. Yeah, like Mike said, it's about that community, that camaraderie, the relationships, and the bonds that last forever with people of every age, from young to old. It's priceless, and that's why we do it. So we're happy to be part of it. We're blessed, and we're looking forward to making this one of the best events out there for everybody. So
Cool. Well, guys, we appreciate you guys taking the ride right here on the Outdoor Drive, and we look forward to going into the wild, the outdoor experience. For everyone else, go and get your tickets, and thank you very much for joining us right here on the Outdoor Drive.
Thanks, guys.
thanks.
Can we